Just getting back to the ugliness of the publishing world, just tell a story about how last week, just again Googling to find out if there's anything new that I escaped, and there was this San Francisco fashion magazine that did a very shallow interview with you, but it had this photograph of somebody who really looked like Yiyun Li. And I was thinking, my God, what's happened? And I'm thinking, if Yiyun Li turns up looking like this, what the hell am I going to say to her? And the thing about it is that this person who was photographed in the magazine didn't look like Yiyun Li, and yet you've had lots of compliments from people about that photograph. How do you feel about it yourself? How did it come about? What did they do to you to make you look like that?
Yeah, I guess it's one of the few moments in my life that I felt like a puppet, because they sent the whole crew, was costume person who came with like a whole roll of costumes, and she would say, "Put on this and let me see you." And she actually said, "Well, the editor wants you to look both very hot and very wise." And I said, I'm not either. I can't. And she said, "Well, let's just try this." And then there was a makeup person and a hair person, and it was the most horrible experience. And in the end, the picture did not look like me, which was also very amusing. People. Actually, a lot of, like, my mother just loved it. My mother absolutely loved it because it's such a beautiful, woman who's not me. No, I feel that's part of life. That it's very, it's an interesting situation or experience for a storyteller, because that's what you do to your characters. That's exactly the same thing I would do to my characters. I would put them under situations or circumstances they don't feel comfortable with.
But there have been other situations like that made you feel uncomfortable, where people basically asked you to do things you didn't want to do. I mean, do you feel obliged to do these things for your publisher, your agent? I mean, are you ever going to reach the stage where you'll say no?
Well, I do say no sometimes, but it's just very hard for me to say no. I feel that when I'm as old as Trevor, I can say no.
And on that subject, we'll end. Thank you.